Hello, Kiss Army. I'm Pasquale Veri.
And I am Claudio Spera. Welcome to Let Me Know, a Short Kiss.
Joining us is Xander from Kiss Army Things. Someone has been turning passion into action, and that's something huge to reveal. A surprise announcement dropping simultaneously on Kiss Army Things and right here on the Kiss Army Nation podcast. But let me just say, we have no idea, and I repeat, no idea what this announcement is about. It will be as much of a surprise for you as it will be for us.
And it's so nice to see you, Xander. So we can't wait. And, I'm sharing the same kind of expectations, like, what Pasquale was saying. I don't know what's going on, man.
Driving me crazy.
This is really exciting, man. Nice to see you, bud.
It's nice to see you guys too. Yeah, this has been in the works for a while, and so I was kind of thinking, how I wanted to announce it, how I wanted to present it, and I thought, man, it would be so great to be to share this with my friends Pasquale and Claudio from the Kiss Army Nation podcast. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for having me on. I guarantee you and everybody is going to be really excited about what I have to announce, and so just thank you so much for the opportunity to be here on your show, and thank you for the time.
Such an honor, man. So this is great. So let things go in. So without mentioning anything just yet, you've said that this has been in the works for some time. How long has this been in the works?
I guess when you think about it, it might not actually be that long, but when you're in my position, it feels like forever. But yeah, I would say since about February or March. So for the last few months, I have been focusing in on this big announcement, working towards it. So yeah, even though, maybe 90 days doesn't sound too long, but when you're in my position, 90 days feels like 9 years. So it's been in the works. For me, it feels like a while, but yeah, I would say pretty much the majority of this year has led to this moment. So yeah.
And was there anything in particular that basically a moment where it all clicked and you said, yeah, we're going to get this going and we're going to announce it? So was there anything specific for that?
Yeah. So, and once I announce this, it'll all make sense. But, when these kind of things happen in life, you get that feeling in your stomach, like, should I do this? Should I not do this? I'm getting outside my comfort zone, and you always hear people say, take it, take the opportunity, take that feeling, rein it in and write it. So I thought, yeah, so there was a moment and we'll get to it, but there was a moment where I had to really just, of course I have a good support team. I have Daphne, I have Jeb. And so I was like, is this something we're going to do? Is this something that's going to happen? And it was a resounding yes. So I would say, the moment was literally that. It was a moment. And again, we're looking at about March. So right before Jeb and I went and saw Ace Frehley. We saw an Ace Frehley show down here at in Southern Indiana, and I was able to share the news with Jeb then. So if that gives you an idea, again, about a couple months, this has been in the works. So I've been very tight-lipped, but of course, Jeb, he got to hear it first. So yeah.
Okay, got it. So you continue to build expectations, but I don't know what's going on.
Okay, we're going to build this a little bit more expectations because Xander, fans of your channel know that you're involved with so many really cool Kiss-related projects that you've done for the channel, and it really generated a lot of viewers and excitement. And I'm so having you doing all of that, I'm not surprised that whatever you're going to announce, that it's going to be huge and that you're involved in this, because what better person to do this? But before you give us the announcement, give us a little quick summary of some of the projects that you were involved with in your channel.
I think that I would say the defining project of Kiss Army Things, or at least, the thing that sets us apart from everybody else, the one thing that we've done or I've done that nobody else has done would be, and you guys have seen it, taking a couple of the scenes from Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, stripping them of their sound, stripping them of the old VFX, and trying to apply modern VFX, modern editing, modern sound effects, and just trying to, divvy up that movie. I feel like Kiss Meets the Phantom holds a very special place, very infamous place in Kiss fans' hearts. And so that, I know, was a fun project. One that I did earlier this year that literally just came to me one night while I was at the computer was I was looking at some of those photos that Bob Gruen had taken of Kiss on the corner, the Dress to Kill corner. and how, they had taken some photos above ground in New York. They went underground in the subway, and I thought, well, how cool would it be to take that comic that they ended up printing in Cream magazine and taking that and bringing it to life. And so, yeah, I guess video editing has become one of my specialties over the last few years. But really, it just all goes down and boils down to my love of Kiss. And honestly, I have to give a lot of credit to Pasquale, because Pasquale, you have given me a lot of really cool opportunities with the projects that you've done, going all the way back to the Rockin' New Year's Eve Bash,
Yeah.
where Lydia Chris made an appearance. All these opportunities. I have the poster right here for the Lydia Chris poster. You can see it right there.
Yeah.
That's Pasquale. There's another one down there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right behind the magazine rack. So all the events that Pasquale you've done, and you've had me design your graphics. Even this podcast, you've allowed me to create the look and the feel for your show, and it's truly an honor. So yeah, I love Kiss fans. I love Kiss fan projects, and so whether it's graphic design or video editing, those are some of the things that I like to do as far as, sharing my love of Kiss with my skills and with my talent. So Kiss Army things, and especially YouTube, is such a great platform because it allows us to connect in this way, share our love of whatever it is any way we want to. So YouTube has been a great thing. It's been a nice way for me to showcase my skills and get to know awesome people like you guys. So yeah.
Thank you. And before the big reveal, do you feel that these little projects that you've done helped you prepare for what is to come?
I can say 100% absolutely. And we may at the end circle back to this question, because there actually is two things in particular that you could say helped me get to where I'm at now and directly relates to this announcement in some way. So it's funny how life works. Yes, never fail to work hard and do something fun and do something that you're passionate about, because you never know what's going to happen. So I can actually say yes, what I've done in the past has directly led to me where I'm at now, and it's going to affect the future as well.
Okay, I'm going nuts. Okay, all right.
So big question is, are we ready now?
Are you ready?
So we can't
All right,
wait,
well,
man, and I'm sure that the listeners can't wait either. So there you go, Xander. Give us the big reveal. So what do you have planned?
Well, I think what I have planned in general always, regardless, is to bring a sense of joy and a sense of fun and positivity to the Kiss Army. I think that's one thing that, a lot of our shows have in common, you guys and I especially too. We're trying to lift up the band, lift up the music, and lift up the fans, right? We have a lot in common. And one thing we also, the three of us, have in common is we're Kiss collectors. We've been collecting for a really long time. And our collecting, of course, is an extension of our love of the band, and it's a showcase of our memories, our experiences. And there's been one place to go to before eBay, before Amazon, before Kiss Online. There was a place and a person that people could go to for the best Kiss collectibles ever. And that place is the Kiss Museum. And Peter Arquette last year retired after 37 years of bringing Kiss fans collectibles. And so he decided to retire, and he put it up on his website that he was looking to sell his business, and he was really wanting somebody to take over the Kiss Museum. And so I'm happy to say that as of right now, I am taking over operations for Kiss Museum for Peter Arquette.
Oh my God.
I will be bringing Kiss collections and Kiss collectibles to Kiss fans for generations to come, and I am truly excited for this next chapter. And of course, thank you to Peter for trusting me with this. But yes, I am going to be the new owner and operator of the Kiss Museum.
Wow, man. Congrats.
Congratulations.
Man. This is awesome.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Cool.
Oh my
Super
God.
Cool.
The first thing comes to my mind is I'm screwed, man. This guy's taking over. I'm going to start buying like crazy. Direct contact. Oh my God. Listen, Xander, I'm looking at retiring in 3 years. I've been trying to calm down in my Kiss spending so I could actually pay some debt, so I could actually retire in 3 years, which probably won't happen. But now, after hearing this announcement, for sure it's not going to happen. Because, dude, we have to support you. This is amazing news. Had no idea. No idea.
Yeah, I've been trying to, keep it on the down low, but also, hype it up a little bit. But yeah, this is something that I've been really wanting to share with everybody for a while because, as most people will know, Kiss Museum is where I got my start as a Kiss collector. My father would buy
Yeah.
from the Kiss catalog every Christmas. That's where Jeb and I would get our Christmas gifts. So we owe our Kiss collecting to Peter Arquette. The Sonic Boom record you see right
Yeah.
there
Mhm.
came from the Kiss Museum. A lot of the things here, came from the Kiss Museum. So
Yeah.
I know it's been a big part of my life as a Kiss fan, as a Kiss collector. I know it's been a big part of other people's fandom and their collecting.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's not lost on me how big an opportunity this is. And so Peter and I have been talking back and forth very extensively over the last several months, coming up with a plan, coming up with an idea. And I can rest assured this is going to be a one-to-one transition from his business, his operation at his house to my house. We're working very closely together. He's going to be coming here to my house, setting me up. We're transforming my garage into a Kiss Army, basically like an Amazon warehouse, but for Kiss stuff.
Oh my
Wow.
And
God.
I
Wow,
don't know if
man.
you guys knew this, but a few months ago, or a couple months ago, he opened the website for one
Yeah.
week only,
Yeah.
and
Okay. Hmm.
and I couldn't do an episode because I was on a secret Kiss mission.
Right.
Well, I was up in Pennsylvania at Peter's house. We reopened the website. He showed me how things go, how things operate, and I can't tell you how amazing it was to be there in the space where for all these years, some of the best Kiss collectibles have come through. And again, all the stuff that I have, it came from him and his
Hmm.
location. And so the fact that he's trusting me with this is very awesome. I'm very excited, and we're hoping to have this website, thekissmuseum.com, relaunched by the end of the month. We're going to be getting together, traveling around the Midwest of the United States. We're going to be picking up Kiss collections and selling them and going through them. And I am just excited as can be for this next opportunity. And again,
Xan-
thank you guys for allowing me some space to share this.
Wow.
It's been
now this
bottled
is
up for a
awesome.
while.
This is on, we can feel the excitement, and let me just give my 2 cents here. Um, collecting is something really, really cool, as you just said. It's a way of extending our passion. But I don't know if I should call it transfer or this new ownership of Kiss Museum. It's something else, man, because it has a lot of emotional content for many, many fans. This has been a real institution for Kiss collecting for the longest time. So it's
Yeah.
not just buying stuff, out of nowhere. It's a sense of belonging. And we're so happy, man, that if there's someone who needs to run this thing, it's you, man, because we know that you take, collecting seriously, but at the same time, for you, it's and you, Daphne, and Jeb, it's about the family. It's about getting together through collecting, and we know for a fact that you're gonna treat this not just as a business, but it's gonna be a way of being connected all the time with fans, and just to put a little bit of fun to this. We're gonna be in contact on a daily basis, I guess now, man.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
But I couldn't imagine, now that you mention it, I couldn't imagine anybody else doing this, Xander, because Peter was a very well-liked person in the
Yeah.
Kiss community. Because with Peter, what you see is what you get. He's a person of integrity, and so are you. You are so well-liked in the community. People love your show because it's a young person's positive spin on the band. And when a fan complains and listens to your show, they go, "Why am I complaining? It's this is fantastic." And I mentioned it in one of our episodes. I listen to your show every single Monday morning when I'm driving to work, and when I get to the parking lot, I leave my car with a smile on my face because you bring such positivity to this band. And now, what you're going to be doing with this project, I think is going to be amazing. And you have the most important business model that anybody could possibly have: trust. The fans trust you.
Yeah.
So I think the fans are going to be really, really excited to hear this news.
Oh, yeah.
But Xander, my question to you is, what are you going to do that's similar to what Peter did? And what are you going to do differently? Any ideas?
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, I've thought about this from every possible angle, and what I think I want to do, at least in the beginning, is make sure that Kiss Museum runs and looks the exact same as it did under Peter. Nobody likes it when, and again, I know we're just people and collectors, but think with me here. Some big corporation buys out another corporation. They say,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're good. You got nothing to worry about." And the next thing you know, it's a new look, new colors, new
Everything
logo, new
changes.
font, new
Yeah.
everything, and suddenly you feel like you're not in the same place anymore.
Yeah.
And even if it is the same person at the cash register, even if it is the same product on the shelf, the brand, the identity, all of that matters. And so when you look at Kiss Museum, you're looking at a delicate, the logo itself. We all know it, Kiss Museum, right? It's a delicate balance of rock and roll and high class sophistication. Because like you said, Peter is a world class collector. He's a stand up guy. He has integrity. He has class, and he's brought that to his business. So it's going to be important for me to uphold that. So what I don't want is for people to look at it and say, well, this is not Kiss. It says Kiss Museum, but this isn't Kiss Museum. So I think what you can expect, honestly, is at least in the beginning, not that much will change. You're going to be seeing, Kiss merchandise from all eras listed at the best prices, and it will be packaged and shipped either same day or next day. And yeah, if somebody screws this up, it ain't gonna be me. It's gonna be the post office because I'm determined to make this, as smooth an operation as possible. So I think in the beginning it'll be more the same than anything else. The only difference will be the return address.
Right.
That's good.
Now, of course, I am thinking a little bit more long term and how I want to integrate Kiss Museum with Kiss Army things, or if I want to at all, because you guys can also probably agree that the worst or the last thing you want is to watch a YouTube video and then in the middle of the video, the person goes, and now a word from our sponsor. Today's video by Kiss Army Things is brought to you by Kiss Museum. Kiss Museum has been around. It's like, okay, stop with the whole thing. So you're not going to see Kiss Museum commercials popping up and Kiss Army Things. It's going to be a perfect marrying, a perfect marrying of the two. So I think what I'm going to do is keep Kiss Museum, the website, the exact same, and offer products the same way that Peter did, up front, as is, no hidden fees, no hidden costs, no, coupon codes and different things to try and, get you going. It's just going to be Kiss merchandise for fans, for all fans. So I think one thing I would like to do maybe in the future is develop an app for Kiss Museum. Because I've been thinking, well, how do I separate Pasquale from his money even faster? And how great would it be if
Poor
a
guy,
little
man.
ping on his phone popped up? Oh, new merch, got to log into the app, as opposed to going on the browser, typing in the website, hoping it loads. You just boom, app. So Xander's going to have to learn a little bit of app development and a little bit of coding, but hey, that's all I've been doing is learning. So I think in the beginning, I'm just going to have it be the same and let fans know, hey, Kiss Museum is open for business. It's back. It's, nothing is going to be overly different and changed. And then as I operate the business, if I can see room for improvement and room for
Of
efficiency,
course.
I'll do that.
Of course. Yeah, that's a really smart move, because as I was saying before, this kind of sense of belonging has to stay, and that's gonna allow fans, new fans and old fans to reconnect with Kiss Museum the way it used to be. And this is awesome. And I'm sure that, with your positivity, your energy, and your knowledge, I'm sure that in the near future you're going to give it a spin. You're going to enhance. Not change completely, but add new features or add new stuff to make it. Maybe I have to say flexible, lighter. More up to date. So it's going to be awesome, man. That's once again, congrats. This is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. One other thing I thought that would be cool is because I've been talking to Peter again pretty extensively about the history of the business and all that. And one thing he was talking about was the reason why he called it the Kiss Museum in the beginning was because he would share a lot of images of Kiss fans and their collections. He had a way for people to submit pictures of their collections and he could feature them. And so he was like, well, let's call it the Kiss Museum because you get to see everybody's, everybody has different merch, everybody has different memorabilia, everybody has different layouts and displays. And so he brought that, to a lot of Kiss fans in an age where, social media didn't exist. So I thought, well, even though social media does exist, maybe there could be a way to have a separate landing page or whatever where if people wanted to, you could go through and just see, all the cool stuff that people collect. People always share stuff to Kiss Online. You'll see Kiss Online post about either collections or just people in makeup, So yeah, that could be really cool too, to again, to bring fans in
Right.
and showcase them and what they have. So yeah, there's all kinds of different ideas, and of course my mind is right now swirling with ideas, but
Of course.
yeah, there's lots of fun to come for sure.
Yeah.
Xander, you're going to have a lot of people saying, you should do this, you should do that. Or can you do this, or can you do that?
Yep.
Can I be the first? Can I be
Yeah.
the first? On a previous episode of Kiss Army Things, you were talking about a possible Kiss Expo. And I thought this announcement was around that. I was completely wrong. Now, I don't know if you know this, but Peter in the past, I mean years ago, pre-pandemic, used to do Kiss Marts.
God
So
damn it. Yes.
he used to take his merchandise on the road. And I used to travel like 6-7 hours just to do these Kiss Marts. And he would have like 2 or 3 vendors, including his own stuff. And people come in, they talk Kiss, and buy some merch. I know this is early to talk about, but in the future, because you've always talked about, want to do an expo. Would you consider doing something like a Kiss Mart, another opportunity to bring Kiss fans together?
So I absolutely have already thought about that as well. Yes. So unfortunately, Kiss Mart was something I wasn't able to ever do. It was either too far to travel, didn't have the money, I was too young, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So the Kiss Mart is only something I've heard from fans like yourself. And so I can say that if I have a say in it, oh yeah, Kiss Mart should and hopefully will come back. Yes, I think that it's very important to have Kiss fans getting together and sharing in the love of the band. And of course, yes, Kiss collecting, which as we know is an extension thereof. I online shop just like most folks do.
Yeah.
And it is convenient, it is fun, but I mean, trying to tell collecting stories in the modern age is kind of boring because it's like, yeah, I was up till 2 a.m. in the dark on eBay and I refreshed the page and hit add to cart. It's like nobody cares about that. But yeah, traveling 6 or 7 hours to a location, getting a hotel, and then sifting through bins, and that is part of the magic. And so I would like to bring that back. So yes, I have been thinking about a Kiss Expo. I've been thinking about a Kiss Expo. Expo has a certain level of expectation to it, so I'm calling it for right now a Kiss Hangout, where at the very least Kiss fans can get together, hang out with each other, and yes, have a chance to browse through some collectibles that either you might not see on a daily basis or anything like that. So expos, unfortunately, you have things like oh, is Bruce going to be there? Is Paul and Gene? Well, they're going to be in Vegas, so whatever I do is not going to have most of those guys there. But I think that it would be really, really cool to bring back Kiss Mart because that is a very special thing. And I know that fans have been asking about that for a while. And since the pandemic, we've seen, no Kiss Mart. We've seen less Kiss Expos. So if I have a say, I'm going to try and do whatever I can to bring some of that back and bring those fan-centered events back to the forefront.
That would be awesome. Fantastic. This is great. And, it's there's so many things, it's the sky's the limit, and with your approach, I'm sure that we're gonna see fantastic stuff coming from you, from Kiss Museum, and of course from Kiss Army Things. So this is great.
Yeah, you guys were earlier talking about what has led me to this, or has anything directly led to this moment. And one of the things was I was trying to help Peter understand who I am. And I was like, yeah, I'm a younger fan. I have a Kiss podcast, Kiss YouTube channel. He's like, oh, what's it called? And I was like, Kiss Army Things. We have a podcast and we do some other fun videos. He was like, you're the guy that bought my 8mm film that I had and from Paul Stanley's tour. And I said, yes, that was me. He goes, okay, so I know who you are. So it turns out that yes, doing the YouTube stuff kind of has helped in a way. And again, it just goes to show how awesome, social media is and YouTube is, because Peter and I, before had never, well, I had talked to him and seen him, but he didn't know who I was. I was just a fan buying Kiss merch. But anyway, we didn't really know who each other was or who we were. But now he knows who I am because of the podcast, because of the YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And so I never really realized how much, good that we do here. The things that we do, to us, it's just us three on screen talking Kiss and sharing that. But like, I never would have known that Pasquale, you watch the show on the way to work and it has an effect on your day. I have a very similar experience with you guys. Listening to your guys' show makes me feel, like a better Kiss fan. I love the band more. I'm passionate. I want to get out there and talk to fans. And so, all of this stuff that we're doing is good, and it's leading to good things. And so I'm happy for the future. I'm very excited. And again, I'm very, very glad to be able to share this with you guys on your show. Thank you so much for the time. And I hope that everybody out there watching would be, just as happy as I am to see Kiss Museum come back. I was very sad. I understood, though, Peter was at the age where he wanted to retire, and he could have retired years ago, but was having too much fun. That time does come, and so I was respectful of his retiring. Very sad to see Kiss Museum go, but I'm super thrilled that it's going to be coming back, and I'm super thrilled to be the person to usher in that next generation of Kiss fans, or at least Kiss collecting. So this is a very exciting opportunity, and thank you guys for being along the ride with me. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank
Well
you.
deserved, well deserved, my friend. And as just to complement what you were saying, I think we're living tough days, and with all the context and everything that is going on. But what you're doing with your podcast, what we're doing with ours, and everything that is going on with Kiss related projects, it's about positive impact. If it has a positive impact in your day, that's it, man. So mission accomplished. That's it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and Kiss sure knows how to bring the positivity.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. No, let's not forget, if you allow me, Pas, a big shout out for Daphne, because you're gonna be converting the house in a warehouse. So if she gave you the okay, so then it's
I should probably definitely give a big shout out to her, and a big thank you to her, because she's been very supportive throughout the whole thing. I mean, obviously she could look at me and be like, what are you doing? I told her too, because she usually parks in the garage too. I said, hey,
too bad.
Sorry. I have to, I told her though, I said, in the wintertime, I'll scrape your car off. I'll get the snow off, because I'm the one that kicked you out in the snow. But, unfortunately we have to change the garage into the new Kiss Museum. So, but she understood, and she gets it.
She understood. So, Kiss Army, what are your thoughts about this fantastic announcement? So let me know, and let us know in the comment section. In the meantime, please like and subscribe and support the amazing guests we have on the Kiss Army Nation podcast. Talk soon. Goodbye.